Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Jamuna Tira Vanantari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe. Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. His divine grace. Srila Bhai Charan Naravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Skandiviti Founder Acharya Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki Hari Nama Sankirtan ki Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Thai Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and to Sri Gauranga. All glories to Sri Prabhupada ki. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakanditam Scha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Vyayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Narayanam Namaskritya
Narayana Namaskritya
Naram Chaiva Narotamam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Devim Sarasatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswati Vyasam
Tato Jayamudiraye.
Tato Jaya Mudiraye.
Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, let us first offer respectful obeisances unto Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unto Narayana Rishi, the supremmost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta Presabhadreshu
Nashta Praeshu Abhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavati Tamasloke
Bhagavate Uttama Shloke
Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki.
Bhakti Bhavati Nashtuki.
By regularly hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering a service unto the pure devotees, all that is troublesome is established as an irrevocable fact. Idam Bhagavatam Nama
Idam Bhagavatam Nama
Puranam Brahmasamitam
Puranam Brahmasamitam
Uttama Charitam
Uttramashloke Charitam
Sakara Bhagavan Rishi
Sakara Bhagavan Rishi
Nisreyasaya Lokasya
Nisreyasaya Lokasya
Dhanyam Swastaya Namaha.
Dharnam Swasaya Namaha.
The Srimad Bhagavatam, known as the Grantaraj, the king of all Vedic literatures, is the literary incarnation of God It is compiled by the incarnation of God, the Sridham Vyasadeva. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people. It is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. Sri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Prabhu
Prabhu
Nityananda, Sri
Nityananda,
Advaita
Sri
Gadadhara,
Advaita Gadadhara,
Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta
Sri
Vrinda,
Vasadi Gaur Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama Hare Rama,
Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Sarabhyaya Namaha.
Om Shurabhyaya Namaha.
Om Sarabhyaya Namaha.
Om Shurabhyaya Namaha.
Om Sarabhyaya Namaha.
Om Shurabhyaya Namaha.
Nam karoti vachalam pangam nangayate girim yatkripa tamaha bande Sri Gurum Dinatanam yatkripa tamaha bande Sri Gurum Dinatanam. Hare Krishna. Welcome to our morning Bhagavatam class. Canto number 1, chapter 9, entitled The Passing Away of Vishnudev. New project. Ah, yes, very good. So today we are reading, yes, 22, correct? 22. By the way, we should get, you should arrange the morning prayers and the temple prayers so that he can follow in English. Yeah. Maybe they have in the temple some book. We have here?
Some book.
Yeah.
Yes, search.
Can give him one copy. Some. Most of the prayers are there. Yeah. Okay, text number 22. Tatapi
Tapi
ekanta
Ekanta
bhaktishu
Bhakteshu
pasya
Pasya
bhupanukampitam
Bhupanukampitam
yan
Yan
me sums
Asums
tyajatah
Tyajataha
sakshat
Sakshat
krishno
Krishna
darshanam
Darshanam
agataha
Agataha
tathapyekanta bhakteshu
Tathapyekanta Bhakteshu
pasya bhupanukampitam
Pasya Bhupanukampitam
yane samsyajata sakshat
Yanme Sutajyata Sakshat
krishno darshanamagataha
Krishna Darshanam Agataha
tathapyekanta bhakteshu
Tathapyekanta Bhakteshu
pasya bhupanukampitam
Pasya Bhupanukampitam
yanme samsyajata sakshat
Yanme Sutajyata Sakshat
krishno darshanam agataha
Krishna Darshanam Agataha
tathapyekanta bhakteshu
Tathapyekanta Bhakteshu
pasya bhupanukampitam
Pasya Bhupanukampitam
yanme samsyagata sakshat
Yanme Sustyajata Sakshat
krishno darshanamagataha
Krishna Darshanam Agataha तथाप्येकान्तभक्तेषु
तथाप्येकान्तभक्तेषु
पश्य भूपानुकम्पितम्
पश्य भूपानुकम्पितम्
यन्मे सुसृजत साक्षात् अन्मे सुसृजतः साक्षात् कृष्णदर्शनमागतः तथाप्येकान्तभक्तेषु पश्य भूपानुकम्पितम् यन्मे
भक्तेषु पश्य भूपानुकम्पितम् यन्मे संसृजतः साक्षात् कृष्णो दर्शनमागतः तथापि to the devotees Pasya, see here, Bhupa, O King, Anukampitam, how sympathetic, yet for which may directly Krishna, the personality of Godhead, Darshanam, in my view, Agataha, has kindly come. Translation and purport by the Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Sridham Prabhupada ki. Yet, despite his being equally kind to everyone, he has graciously come before me while I am ending my life, for I am his unflinching servitor. Kindly repeat after me. Yet, despite his being equally kind to everyone, he has graciously come before me while I am ending my life. For I am his unflinching servitor. Purport. The Supreme Lord, the absolute personality of Godhead, the Sri Krishna, although equal to everyone, is still more inclined to his unflinching devotee, who is completely surrendered and knows no one else as his protector and master. Having unflinching faith in the Supreme Lord as one's protector, friend, and master is a natural condition of most happy when placing himself in a condition of absolute dependence. The opposite tendency is the cause of fall down. The living entity has this tendency of falling down by dint of misidentifying himself as fully independent of all troubles, is there in false egotism. One must draw towards the Lord in all circumstances. The appearance of Lord Krishna at the deathbed of Bhishmaji is due to his being an unflinching devotee of the Lord. Arjuna had some bodily relations with Krishna because the Lord happened to be his maternal cousin. But Bhishma had no such bodily relation. Therefore, the cause of attraction was due to the intimate relation of the soul. Yet, because the relation of the body is very pleasing and natural, the Lord is more pleased when he is addressed as the son of Maharaj Nanda, the son of Yashoda, the lover of Radharani. This affinity by bodily relation with the Lord is another feature of reciprocating loving service with the Lord. And Bhishma Dev is conscious of this sweetness of transcendental humor, and therefore he likes to address the Lord as Vijay Sakhe, Partha Sakhe, etc., exactly like Nandanandana and Yashodanandana. The best way to establish our relation in transcendental sweetness is to approach him through his recognized devotees. One should not try to establish the relation directly. There must be a via medium which is transparent and competent to lead us to the right path. Translation again. Yet, despite being equally kind to everyone, he has graciously come before me while I am ending my life, for I am his unflinching servitor. So the continuing prayers of grandfather Bhishma Dev, both his appreciation and gratitude to Lord Krishna for being present before him at this very critical moment of his life. He is about to leave his body. So Grandfather Bhishma Dev is making two important points here. That although Krishna, he loves all living entities, he's equal to all living entities. At the same time, he displays special affection, and he becomes more obligated towards those who are fully surrendered to him, those who are the quality of dependency is being explained in the purport by Srila Prabhupada. So although the Lord is equal, he will naturally be more inclined to reciprocate with those who express their love and affection for him. That is one point. And the other, Grandfather Bhishma Dev is telling that I am the Lord's unflinching servitor, isn't it? And of course, that is directly connected. When one becomes unflinching, what is the meaning of unflinching? Unflinching means something very strong, something very steady, something that will never change. Unflinching, very constant, means he recognizes and he also attributes the Lord's being present. Although the Lord is not having any bodily relation The Lord has a bodily relation with Arjuna and the Pandavas. But actually, what is especially attractive to the Lord is relations that are established on the level of devotion, on the level of spiritual, transcendental. mm, Actually, the word sweetness is used twice in the purport. Uh, the the various relationships on the transcendental level that are meant to exist eternally between the jiva, the living entity, and Krishna, they bring a satisfaction and happiness to both the Lord and the devotee, isn't it? Actually, every living entity is hankering, is searching, even without knowing, isn't it? We are we are very thirsty for this kind of relationship, because that is our nature. Prabhupada would use the word birthright. It is a birthright of every living entity actually to be in that type of loving relationship with someone, um, and we can see this in the material world, even though majority of living entities have forgotten that spiritual relationship. They cannot um, they cannot avoid searching for a material relationship. It means that actually, if we uh, don't have, then we will search out different material relationships, because we cannot live without relationship. That is natural. But the nature and the quality of the spiritual relationship, actually, there's a difference between simply spiritual or transcendental and what is called devotional. Uh, this we were just discussing some time back. Very important difference that is made by Srila Rupa Goswami in the Nectar Devotion, that the actual fully satisfying relationship is not simply on the transcendental level. Because there are many people who are transcendentalists or spiritualists, but they don't know about Krishna, isn't it? So the real fulfilling happiness, which every living entity is searching for, is that devotional happiness. And naturally, grandfather Vishmadev, he had this type of relationship with the Lord. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning how this is this is the type of relationship that that Krishna tries to uh, awaken actually within the jiva, within the living entity. And another point being mentioned here, of course, also is that this type of relationship, especially devotional relationship, is only possible when one is favored to come in contact with a devotee of the Lord, isn't it? Just like we have many examples of transcendentalists who were very strongly established, very strongly fixed in the Brahman realization. Brahma Bhuta Prasanatmana Sochati Nakanchati, completely without any material anxiety, without any material hankering. And they were, it's one level of Atmaram, but actually not the full, complete, or highest level. It's one level of Ananda, that is called Brahmananda. A vast majority of people who practice spiritual life, even now, even today, especially in the land of Bharatvarsha, because the land of Bharat is the land of Dharma, is the land of religiosity. So the vast, even today, the vast majority of people who are practicing spiritual life, uh, they only are only be able to reach the level of Brahmananda, the Ananda that one can perceive, the Ananda that one can experience by understanding Brahman. Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi. I am different from this body. That in itself actually brings a great relief to all living entities. And one can begin to experience this Brahmananda. But higher, there is higher than Brahmananda, which is a realm that is very, uh, very special, very confidential, and uh, that realm is only possible to attain, can only be realized by those who are uh, unique quality of uh, full and complete dependency on the Lord. Those who actually can begin to understand, can accept that the Lord is a person with whom we can exchange in loving relations. So Bhishma Dev is expressing actually his affection in this way. He understood Krishna to be that Supreme Personality of Godhead upon whom every single living entity in the material world is meant to become fully surrendered and fully dependent. And what is the main obstacle? That's also mentioned here. What is the main obstacle for achieving this state of consciousness? What is the main problem that is preventing us from, again, becoming fully dependent upon Krishna? What's that called in one word or two words? Huh? False ego, ahankara, which is described as it's the most subtle, most deeply rooted, like that tapioca we took out the other day. You know, when the tapioca has been growing for a long time, the older it is, that means the root is more deep.
Yeah, I
Isn't it?
told and they studied. No problem. You will see.
You cannot buy your false ego, isn't it? We know from Shastra that we are traveling in this universe, Brahmanda Brahmiti, from different universes. Not only within one universe, there are different, they call galaxies, but actually most people, even scientists, most scientists, I think all the scientists, they think that there's only one universe and this one. But there are unlimited universes practically in the material world. So living entity is wandering through 8,400,000 species before we attain this human form of life, and we carry that false ego for millions of years, isn't it? Means for millions and billions of years we have forgotten completely Krishna. Sometimes devotees, I've been a devotee already so many years, why I can't remember Krishna? Well, you've forgotten.
That's why Chaitanya Charitamrita said, কোটি জন্ম করো যদি সাধনা ভজন তবু না পাইবে রাধা।
Yes, even after practicing for koti, hundreds, the shelter of the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. Especially if we have only been chanting for a few months or a few years.
How we chant.
Huh?
How we chant.
And how it is. So we have to understand our fallen condition. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he explains what is the greatest offense, the greatest sin that we have committed. What is that? We have told Krishna, I don't want you. That is our unfortunate condition of having come to that false understanding that we can be happy without Krishna, that we can act independently. And Krishna is reminding us every single day that we are not dependent. We are not in control. So this aspect is most important. The very advanced devotees of the Lord, they especially are understanding their total, every single moment of the day, their total dependency on Krishna. Isn't it? Sometimes we see, and it can happen to anyone, somebody gets some blood clot, either in the brain or in the heart. You know what a blood clot is? Blood is circulating all the time in the body, isn't it? You can see our veins here.
Yes.
We can see blue, huh?
Yes, sir.
So blood clot means that sometimes there will be some obstacle that will prevent the blood from circulating, and means that the circulation will stop. When the circulation stops in the heart or in the brain, Haribol. And it can happen anytime to anybody without any apparent reason, isn't it? It's like we don't have to do anything. Accidents can happen even without doing anything. Just like one of my godbrothers, just a few years ago, sannyasi, devotee, initiating spiritual master. He was, I forget, maybe in Australia or something, just sitting in the car. He was waiting for some devotee. And somehow another car came and bang. And he like practically broke his neck. In other words, we can be sitting anywhere and anytime can happen to any of us, isn't it? So this body is a result of our karma, actually. We're fortunate in that we have been awarded at least a human body and we can attend Bhagavatam class. But there are majority of bodies are not human bodies, isn't it? Like how many pieces of grass, how many grasses here? The majority, the human being, human form of life is dhulabam, very, very, very rare and very precious. Nate vidu swarthagatim hi vishnum. Swarthagatim, artha. Artha means what? Sanskrit scholars.
Artha means dukhya.
Huh?
Means
Don't give another Sanskrit name.
Artha.
Artha means in English. You know some Sanskrit a little bit? No. Have to learn. Huh?
Value.
Value. Wealth. Artha.
Artha. Artha.
Artha.
Artha.
Or Artha. Okay. Yeah. We're not pronouncing the Sanskrit. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Yeah. So Artha means what is value? Wealth. Money. We say money. Yeah. So majority of people in the world, they don't know that this human body, this is Artha. Because we can begin to understand about Krishna. We can begin to understand that we are different from the body. We can begin to understand that there is something beyond Brahman realization. There is Brahman realization, there is Paramatma realization, there is Bhagavan realization.
Mentioned in Bhagavatam.
Yeah.
Brahmati Paramatma Bhagavan
Yes.
Sabjati.
Vedanta, what is it? What is that verse? Vedanti tat tattvavidam tattvam yas jnanam advayam brahmiti paramatmiti bhagavan iti sabjate. So there is those who are at the level of Brahman realization, they can only experience what is called Brahmananda. But the followers of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because of we could say revelation, because Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu being the Supreme Lord himself and having actually revealed this knowledge to Rupa and Sanatana Goswami and all the other Goswamis as well, he has introduced what is called Premananda, Prema. So that is actually the highest level of transcendence, which is available only to those who learn this art and this science of becoming fully surrendered. Actually, it begins with sadhana. And sadhana means attending Srimad Bhagavatam class, attending Mangalarti, chanting our rounds, all of the different activities of sadhana. You know why? Because there's some little ghee. I put ghee here because I have a little something. So I put ghee here. When I put my glasses, the ghee comes here. And when I put my glass there, the ants, they know something to eat.
They know what we don't know.
Yeah.
So much empty.
Otherwise, ordinary glass, ants have no interest. But if your glass has a little bit of ghee, yeah. So this this speaking and these prayers actually that are being presented here that we're reading from Grandfather Vishmadev, they remind us of the prayers of Queen Kunti because she is such an exalted personality. She goes on describing, remembering various leelas and pastimes and glorifying the Lord as being their eternal protector. So similarly, that is one of the features of such great personalities. It's just like Srila Prabhupada, he expressed in so many ways, especially we could say, he himself actually mentioned how these purports of the Bhagavatam, do you know how he described these purports of the Bhagavatam, which he wrote in the early mornings of the day, because that's when Prabhupada would be writing the commentaries, um, or rather reading the commentaries and writing his purports. Prabhupada described those as his emotional ecstasies, isn't it? What is meaning of emotional ecstasy? It means something that is very personal. So in other words, if we want to know that personality, Srila Prabhupada, which in turn can help us to know Krishna, which is the point, one of the points, and regularly read purports. So important for us to actually begin to get a glimpse, to get a little understanding of who is contributed by writing various commentaries on the Bhagavatam, and ultimately understand who are these different great personalities described in the Bhagavatam, like Grandfather Bhishmadev, like Queen Kunti Devi, like Narada Muni, like Prahlad Maharaj, and so many such exalted personalities. All of this to help us finally begin to understand a little bit, and more important than understanding is to evoke and awaken our loving relationship for Krishna, isn't it? And that we can demonstrate in our daily activities, or it will be demonstrated. What is our level of love and gratitude for Krishna? What is our level of love and gratitude for Srila Prabhupada? What is our level of love and gratitude for the Vaishnavas will be demonstrated in our daily activities, and how we help to carry on actually the mission of the Lord. The mission of the Lord is especially uh, being presented to us and explained to us through acharyas who come and carry on uh, to introduce and to expand more and more this um, mission of the Lord, the message of Krishna consciousness. So, any questions on this? Thoughts?
Shastra says 4 lakh 4 lakhs types of human body.
Yes.
How we
How?
uh,
Human bodies are not only on this planet. Human species, and there are different, we see different how um, how Shastra differentiates between the species. Mm, I've not read directly different various differences.
Picture in the earlier Ishopanishad.
Uh-huh.
There was 5 different type of
Human species.
human.
Is that?
They look similar, but the color was different, and the lifestyle was quite different.
Lifestyle, yeah. Um,
And also Bhaktin Thakur using some kind of evolution theory for the spirit soul, how some advanced from being a wild person, like living in the forest and hunting and not caring of any real moral, and then they understand there are some godly, spirit or something, and they start to respect
yeah, like tribals.
tribal.
Tribal, yeah, we see on our planet, we see differences in human beings. Huh?
African body, like
Yeah, there is white body,
Indian
there
body,
is yellow body, there is black body, there is
and Bhutan also different body, Tibet,
yes,
Nepal,
so
Chinese.
yes, yes,
So does it mean they cannot have a sexual relationship or orgasm? But according to consciousness, they are differentiated. Like demigods and human beings can have child, but they are specific. They're really different species.
yeah.
I think according to consciousness.
Uh, it's definitely consciousness level is um, one factor, and then bodily features and bodily abilities uh, will be. Uh, it would make for an interesting research. I mean, it should be based on Shastra. Yeah, it should be based on Shastra. Yes,
Maharaj,
you can put your hand down.
how how divide
How
how divide um, 4 lakhs human beings,
huh?
how divide,
Divide?
yes, 4 lakhs different various kind
Yeah, that's the question we're looking at now. How it is divided.
yes.
Yeah, we are discussing this point that this is a question that again some other was asking. um, there are different um, differences in terms of level of consciousness, difference in terms of bodily features, difference in terms of abilities. Uh, we can see some of this on this planet, isn't it? Uh, just like Gwyneth Prabhu telling, there are some people, even like in different countries, who are like, we say, uncivilized, means different from so-called civilized, who are living, let's say, in the jungle.
Yes,
Uh, and maybe their language is
different.
so many in India, for example, in other countries also. In India especially, there are so many what is called dialects. Also Africa. In Canada, I'm from Canada. We have only two languages, mainly two. Of course, there's also what we call those who were in Canada before the Europeans came, what is called the Red Indians, Am, uh, Amerindian. They have their different dialect, different language, different consciousness. Yeah,
Maharaj, I think
I think. Be careful now.
in India, especially in India, divide people for Varna, जैसे Brahmana it is human being,
Well, that is of course
Kshatriya,
there. Yes,
and who are live in jungle,
yes,
they are called Adivashi.
yes,
So many different human beings. So in this, in India especially,
yes,
like different.
yes. So we should send Gansamura Prabhu to visit different provinces here in India and to make a little survey and establish. Yeah, we have a lot of variety. Same thing also if you go to Africa. some countries where you, you still see a lot of different languages, different dialects, different consciousness, different, you know. For example, in Africa, I read how if somebody does something very sinful, then they have a system how to punish that person. So what they will do is that person will stand, let's say, maybe 20 meters away, 50 feet away, and he will be there alone, and there will be maybe 5 or up to 10 people with a spear, you know, spear,
Yeah, yes, yes, Guru.
and they will throw, and the person has to try to avoid the spear. So you can do that for some time, but then you get tired, right? Then eventually, wherever the spear hits, that's your like karma. Uh, I mean, different countries, for example, what is death penalty? In previous time, they used to hang people. Uh, in America, they were having, I don't know if they still have what they call the electric chair.
Yes. And now science invented a box like for suicide. Who want to do suicide? They
Special.
they go inside box and on switch, he die.
Yeah.
For suicide.
There are so many things.
And Arab countries also now.
I think you're reading too much newspaper.
Before.
No, even now.
Now.
Electronic paper. News has come from paper to digital news. So that's why this material world is very, that we need to, as nicely presented here by Grandfather Bhishmadev, we have to focus on our main business, which is to engage in we can just be peacefully engage our devotional service, and then back to Prabhupada.